So I'm going to start with Paula. An incredible day of racing for you today. Paula, talk us through the race day.
That's my question.
That is your question.
Wow, okay. This could be long. Yeah, the delay was strange. I think I would have rather started at 7:30, but we were all in the same boat. And the swim was pretty rough. Like, kind of back to my ITU days, there was a lot of jostling around and really a lot of fighting around the buoys. And that part was not my favorite, but when I got out of the water and kind of saw like Holly and Ellie and people that I like being around, I was reassured that I could find some good wheels and kind of make my way through. It was really fun on the bike, riding with Kat and Daniela and kind of switching leads a little bit. And it was a pretty dynamic race. There was a lot of like slotting in. I think there was a lot of penalties given out, and just kind of like we're all kind of at the same level and really fast and competitive. So I think everyone was just excited, and there was a lot of bodies around for the first 20K, which made it a bit hectic, but I definitely never got bored on the bike, which is sometimes happens in a 70.3. Just there was always something happening, always people around, and really trying hard to keep the gaps appropriate to not get a penalty myself. Yeah, and felt really good on the run, but was kind of in no man's land, 2 minutes behind fourth and 2 minutes ahead of sixth. So I don't know, I'm decently happy. I'm obviously finished below my start bid, which was 2, so I wanted to be on the podium again, but lots of respect for all 4 of these women ahead of me, so I'm happy enough.
Good. Well, I'm glad you're very happy. Paula, we spoke before the race about the importance of you coming into this race very relaxed. You had posted about sometimes the pressure can get too much. How do you think being relaxed coming into your World Championship race today helped you get back on the podium to the top 5?
It definitely made the week more enjoyable. I don't know if it helped my performance at all, but it I do get very, very stressed before races and very nervous, and I know that about myself, so it's not something I can't deal with, but I really have enjoyed my time in Finland, and racing in Europe is always a great experience. It is a lot different than racing in North America, so when I get the chance to come over and race here, it's pretty fun, and the roads are different, the crowds are great, the volunteers are great, everything's really, really awesome, so I've enjoyed my week here. I still put pressure on myself, but I'd say I dealt with it better than I normally do. So
fantastic. Well, what a great race you had today. Congratulations, taking 5th position here at the 2023 Finland IRONMAN 70.3 World Championship. We move now on to Emma run course. You were just behind Kat coming into transition on the bike. There was a lovely group of you coming in together, but really the race unfolded on the run course for us this afternoon.
Yeah, I had a pretty dodgy second transition. So yeah, I could see Kat quite a bit ahead to begin with, and I have a bad habit of going out too fast. So tried to keep it steady, felt good on the first lap, and kind of got up to her with a lap to go. Yeah, and I was hoping that we could maybe work together, and flashbacks to 2 years ago in Utah, where, yeah, Kat demolished me on the uphills, and fair enough, yeah, yet again we got to that uphill on the second lap, and yeah, I don't know if it was like a concerted effort or I just came back a little bit, and I thought, no, just keep your heart rate level, keep your own pace, like, yeah, and she was gone. So then it was like, I could hear people like, Emma's not too far, and I was thinking, I can't see her, so I think she's pretty far. But yeah, it was definitely a tough run.
Talk to us about the run, Emma, in terms of the crowds out there, the course itself. I think Taylor, when she crossed the line, said it was a little bit tougher than she expected, but we'll get to that in a few minutes. What was your own personal opinion on the run course? Yeah,
I actually, yeah, probably didn't have my best run, but I actually did enjoy, I think there were so many bits to it. Again, like, you definitely couldn't get bored on it. From going into, like, my favourite bit, going into the stadium, like, remind me of my track days, and yeah, people were so far away and it didn't look like there were loads of people, but the noise in the stadium was still incredible, and just support all the way around. I don't think there was one quiet place. So yeah, we've got a lot of work to do supporting the men tomorrow, I think.
Yeah, it was, to be honest, I was running a bit scared. I definitely looked over my shoulder to check Emma wasn't about to sprint past me. But when I realised she wasn't, then I really soaked it up. It was amazing to be there. The crowds were like 3 deep the whole way down. I couldn't quite work out where the finish chute was. I was like, am I getting there yet? But it was incredible. Yeah, it's been a long journey, as you said, and it makes it even more worth it.
So you took third in Nice in 2019, third again today. Coming into the race, what performance would you have been happy with?
Coming into it, I was actually quite relaxed about the whole situation. So yeah, I've kind of done a month of racing and done 3 halves or middle distances in the last 4 weeks. So this one was, I had 2 good races and I was like, okay, well, 2 out of 3 is pretty cool, so third one's a bonus if it goes well. So I was like, okay. And I was pretty relaxed. I've been a bit sick for the past 2 weeks, and so I just really was quite relaxed and enjoyed it. And I was like, okay, if my stomach doesn't play ball, then the stomach doesn't play ball, and that's the way it is, but there we are.
You were quite emotional when you crossed the finish line.
Is that a question?
Yeah.
Yes, I was.
Like, it's such a huge achievement to come back after injury, after being sick. You know, you must be feeling good now.
I mean, yeah, you know, all the girls here, we've all been through our fair share of things, ups and downs, and you do question yourself at certain points, like, what's it all worth when it just seems to be one thing after the other, and I mean, yeah, moments like that really, they make it worth it.
They're very special moments. Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you.
Imogen, I just want to ask you, how are you feeling right in this very, very moment?
It's just what Emma said. I think we all live this life together and we all have those moments and those doubts, and coming together today on what I can only describe as the best course I've ever raced. I want to personally thank the race organiser, whoever it is, somewhere. So yeah, it's a big deal.
Coming down that finish line, you looked like you had won the race, and you turned around and you said, I'm back.
I said I'm back with quote marks,
Oh,
and it was very sarcastic. And I just joked just a few moments ago that I did win the only available position that I could have done, because Taylor is the best in the sport right now.
That's a lovely segue into talking to Taylor, but before we do that, Kat, we know that we were watching it on the big screen, and it looked like Emma was going to overtake you just at the start of that second loop, but you put the foot down and you never let up the whole way to the finish line. So talk us through that last loop of the run course.
I realised that even though it felt hard, I wasn't really working hard enough. So I really worked hard on the hill on the second lap. And I could sort of see Emma coming up behind me, like in the corner of my eye. And I thought, nope, I'm not going to let this happen. So yeah, I cracked on, and I knew I'd fueled well. My homestay, Taru, who's part of the community here, was like, you need to work really hard on that second hill. So it just came to me. There was lots of other thoughts going through my head, but I knew that I really wanted to get on the podium, and at that point I was in third. So I didn't want to drop to fourth. I've been fourth before, and it's a hard position to be in. So yeah, just cracked on.
And if I'm not mistaken, this is your first time ever at a middle distance World Championship podium, 70.3 podium?
If you're counting podium as top 3, then yes. If you're counting it as the top 5, then I came fourth a couple of years ago.
Top 3. Congratulations, Kat Matthews, finishing second here today at our Ironman 70.3 World Championship. Indicate that you have achieved an overall Ironman 70.3 world best time based on our provisional results. Just 1 second of the time that Laura Phillip performed and achieved at Ironman 70.3 in Dubai.
Wait, so faster or slower?
You are faster.
Okay.
By 1 second. On this course, this is a provisional, based on the provisional results, this is what I have been told. So double Ironman 70.3 world champion. That has a nice ring to it.
Yes, thank you.
How are you feeling?
Well, I'm really sore. I'm really tired. I'm excited take a shower, but I guess that's probably not what you want to ask right now. I'm really grateful to be here. Last week was a big race for me, and that was like kind of to just check that box and satisfy that goal for the year. And then this is kind of my dessert this week, like in terms of it's just icing on the cake. And so to be here, to be healthy, to be ready to race, and to execute a great race, I couldn't ask for anything more.
So you say you executed a great race, but talk us through how it all unfolded for you and how you were feeling throughout the race, because it must have been pretty lonely out at the front on the bike on your own from pretty much the, kind of the second half of the bike. You were pretty much on your own all the way to the finish line.
Well, I don't think we care about how we feel. We're professionals, and so the aim is to get to the finish line as fast as we can, and that's not, I could probably think back and think about how I was feeling, but that's not really relevant. I was just trying to do the best that I could in each moment and keep moving forward.
So you're now the double Ironman 70.3 world champion. You've qualified for the Olympics. It's going to be an incredible 2024 for you.
Well, I hope so. You never know. I mean, this sport is unpredictable, and so you're just grateful when you're healthy and fit and able to make it to the start line. And so I'm just really grateful to be here and trying not to think too much into the future.
Fantastic. And Taylor, one final question for you. At the pre-race press conference, Paul asked, if it wasn't you that would win today, who would it be? And you chose Kat Matthews. So how good does it feel to now have Kat Matthews sitting right beside you in second position today?
It was great, and actually my second choice was Imogen, so I was thinking about that, because it's a great podium, but it was a great race, and I think every year the 70.3 Worlds and any World Championship is unpredictable, and so you just never know, and it takes showing up on the day.
Absolutely. Well, you certainly showed up on the day. Our VinFast Ironman 70.3 World Champion for 2023, Taylor Knibb from the USA. Thank you so much.